The Songo Pond Aquamarine Quarry is located in Albany, Maine. These maps show Maine on the left with a purple dot showing the quarry location. The map on the right shows the location's position relative to Bethel. Note longitude and latitude and the street address for use with GPS units. X marks the spot. The road becomes a dirt road. Pavement is now gone. It's not terribly bad for regular vehicles, and there are people who live along the length of this road. So even though it's a mine entrance, it's not one that's terribly treacherous to navigate. Shows all the information that you actually need to know. The fee schedule. Well, we'll park here and we'll go up to see if Jan is in the house. Hey Jan, how you doing?
I'm there. How are you?
All right, I'd like to go into the mine. Can we go up and you can show us around?
Sure, it's open.
Okay, let's do it.
Let me grab a hat.
You bet.
Hi. When we come up to the mine, the first place that we'll go to will be this table. We have everything that's been found here is from the dumps. And we've got examples of most of the minerals in the rocks they're found in, right in their matrix. So we will start by asking someone, what do you recognize here? Mica will be the first one everybody knows. And we've gotten some very nice mica crystals recently. And we have this, instead of the jagged edge on the hook, we have a nice clean crystal-like form. And they're nice thick books. So it might be an oxymoron, but we have collectible mica now. Of course, we hope that they'll recognize some blue. We have a small one and some smoky quartz, our aquamarine that we're so well known for. And I like to keep one where all they can see is a small piece of the blue. Unless they turn this over, they're not going to see a long blue crystal in here. So this is one that's very good for the kids. All they have to do is pick stuff up, turn it over enough, and they're going to end up finding something they like. The other thing that we've had a lot of is black tourmaline, but the schorl we've gotten here has been somewhat extraordinary. We've gotten pocket schorls that are so hard and clean that they will cut beautiful gems. We also have some beautiful smoky quartz. And these are some that came out years ago. We have some that have recently come out. We've had a lot of pockets. And as Frank Parham has once said, the better the miner does, the better the dumps do. And then we'll go to some others that are unusual. We have some beautiful fluorapatites here. And there's a very small green one in here, but that is a natural crystal and it just looks beautiful. They're clean and glossy. We find them in very small bugs. In usually the albite feldspar, but this is in the pink salmony feldspar. And there's a little bit of smoky quartz crystallization going on and some other interesting things here. One of the ones that we always like and the kids love is our magnetite. And on occasion we'll get a nice crystalline form. Other times it'll be massive. And you'll have to use our magnet to test it. This one, which has a lot of mica, also has a large area of magnetite in the end of it. So we leave the magnet up here. They can come up and test anything they get that they think is magnetite. We also have other rarer metals, and this is a small rutile crystal, a titanium dioxide. And we found quite a few of those, some of them museum quality. Columbite and a number of other metallics that are nice to collect. More advanced collectors look for those. Now I'm standing on the Pegmatite here that we've worked since the beginning. This is the original Pegmatite that was opened up probably in the early 1950s and has continued to produce beryl. We've hit a lot of the gem deeper than where it had been mined. and we've now gone below the area that probably has good beryl. We still have quite an area here. We normally will have an area where you can screen with water provided and screens provided. We also have things like our buckets, and the safer tools are provided for you here. See an area where we worked last year. We've allowed the water to come in now, and we'll use it as a water source for our washing. This area had a tremendous series of pockets that we've worked for the last 3 years. And we think we've come to the bottom of the pocket zone. We were able to find a number of very unusual minerals and some gorgeous ones, including large, clear, smoky quartz crystal plates. We don't intend to go back in for some time. We have a better area now that we will be working, and we're pumping out. Janet, if you look up the cut here, you'll see that the pegmatite is now against the upper wall. So we could maybe mine a little bit up there, 6-8 feet, and go down 3 or 4 feet. And then we, again, would be up against the wall. We'd have to start.
Jan, can collectors come into the pit when they come here?
Well, as you see, we have a high wall here. This is hard hat only area. Workers only are allowed down in these areas. We've had a lot of nice pocketing along these walls. We still have the remnants right here of pockets all along here, and some of them have produced fabulously. These are mostly feldspar that are left. We have some crystals in there. The albites are fluorescent, but you can still see we have a lot of shoral left in matrix. These are not the pocket shorels that were so good quality. Fully terminated crystals came out of the pockets. When they're blasted, though, in the matrix, they crack like any other shoral, and they really get to a powdered stage.
So that pocket sand is composed of micas of various kinds?
Yes, and we are pretty sure of that because we've had some research done on it, a lot of it thanks to you. But you can see the smaller mica crystals in a hand loop. So we can pretty much deduce that that is a mica clay. These pockets sometimes were so large we would do a blast to enter it, and then another blast in order to get the top off and take the contents out. We had the guy with the longest arms up here reaching towards the back of one pocket, and he never found it.
Well, Jan, let's issue the 1-minute challenge. You're in a piece of dump. Nothing has been salted here. Talk about what you find in 1 minute's time as you go through, and let's see if you've come up with a rock.
All right, the first thing I normally do is I want to move the sizable rocks that can hide something. Well, quicker than a minute. We have a small smoky quartz crystal here with a little black tourmaline in it. This not being a great prize, let's see what else we get in that minute. Checking the mica, we do have a small mica crystal here, but not one I'd put into the collection. We do have some fluorescent albite crystals here, which came out of a pocket area, but most of this is from solid matrix.
From what you said, you can offer minerals to 3 different kinds of collectors. People are interested in specimens that go on a shelf, specimens that go into micromounts, or people are interested in rare minerals.
Well, we also have the gem collecting public, and this is what they're looking for. Oh, this one still has two of the crystal faces on it. That's a nice piece of beryl for the first couple of minutes. I would certainly be satisfied with that in more than a minute dig. But that is not a gem piece, but we have gems of various materials here, including the smoky quartz. And there are a number of cutters that'll come up and screen for the gem material. The other rarer one is we do have enough fluorescence that occasionally we have a nighttime dig when someone has a good fluorescent lamp. We can get out here and the apatites and hyalite opal and others just are really bright and easy to see.
All right, we've come back to Jan's shop, and I've asked to see a few of the specimens he has that are treasures of the mine. So, Jan, would you tell me a little bit about the pieces you've selected for today?
Well, this first one is a personal piece. It came out of our first pocket in 2008, and it was quite a sizable pocket, but when this came out, it was completely clay covered. It has a real variety of crystals. We have skeletal overgrowth, we have a tabular crystal on the base, yet we have the normal points on the tip of it.
That's an awesome smoky quartz.
One of my favorite of all time. Now the pockets also, before we hit them, gave us a hint. And Phil McCrillis told me about these mica crystals that we were finding, saying that he thought it indicated pocketing might be close by. He certainly was correct, and we really found a lot of these beautiful, almost fully formed six-sided mica crystals. And this one really is quite extraordinary.
Well, it's a fishtail twin. It's amazing.
Yes. Now this piece came from a beautiful gem crystal. This was cut over 10 years ago, and it is probably the finest piece that I will use in slicing. It has beautiful clear areas in it that are facet gem. The other foggy areas will create a cat's eye. These are the natural sides of the crystal here. So it was a euhedral crystal with all the sides and really a beautiful solid gem.
Well, how big was that aquamarine?
This one was over a foot long. Now we have another nice one here that's a compound crystal. And this frequently happens in the larger crystals from Songo. You may have a core crystal that'll actually come separate from the large outside. And you have to handle these carefully. Blasting around these has got to be extraordinarily gentle or you will break it up. This one has that deep Songo blue color that we just love to see here. This is one of our better examples of hyalite opal. These white crusts here, the botryoidal crust, is highly fluorescent, and even in the daylight you can see the lime green color from it. This is one that we really like to go up and see at night when we bring in a black light, and it fluoresces best under the short wave. Now I have two schorls here that are really nice and very solid. This one fully terminated with a typical three-sided termination that we generally see up here. This extraordinary piece was found in the dump by Jim Clannon. And because it is so solid and we have a partial termination and the way this one looks, we are pretty sure this came out of a pocket, and this would have been the largest pocket schorl that we found last year. The mine is open most of the time now. We recommend highly that you ask for reservations and call first so that you're sure we'll be here. I work the mine regularly. Weekends are usually better. And in the summer, a lot of the time, the best time to come is early in the morning, and you're out in the sun there without a lot of shade. We do have room for groups. If you do have a group, I'm happy to give you a reservation and discount. We really like to have classes up here, and we really encourage the kids. My 11-year-old granddaughter loves to have kids come up, and she knows the mine well. She'll help you out as well. So we hope to see you at the Songo Pond.